Hey guys, here's another Land and Elf battle report. This is Vampire versus Wood Elves. It's meeting engagement. It is going to be a kind of a unique scenario as we practice for Grail Quest in a few months. So it's 2,500 points, but you get up to 350 points of those points from Storm of Magic or Monstrous Arcanum. So you'll see some interesting stuff in each of our lists. Here's a quick rundown of my list. I'm just taking a Death Weaver, a Treeman Ancient, BSB on a Stag. This list is my normal list. 2 units of Glade Guard, a bunch of Glade Riders, Wild Riders, and some Sisters of the Thorn, some Way Watchers, and my Storm of Magic choices is going to be a Wyvern and a Pegasus. Alright, here's my opponent's list from memory. This game was a couple weeks ago, so forgive me. He's got the Blender Lord on a Zombie Dragon. He's got a Necromancer, I'm not sure which level, on the Corpse Cart. He's got a baby vampire with some powers and a great weapon and some saves. He's got a bunch of skeletons in horde formation and a small unit of zombies and doomwolves. 2 units of Hex Wraiths, a Spirit Host, a Black Host, and a Terrorgeist. I don't actually think he takes anything from the Storm of Magic. I'm not really sure he had any models to put into play, so this should be a pretty interesting game. Okay, this is his deployment. He only had his, I think, Corpse Cart and maybe some other, not essential unit off the board. So he got I think maybe some Doom Wolves were off the board, so he got very fortunate on that. The big, tall Terrorgeist is actually a zombie dragon ridden by his Vampire Lord, and the Horde's in front of him. Over there in the top left corner, you see some Hex Wraiths and some Doom Wolves trying to sneak up on my flank. That's it. Here's my deployment. Everything was on the board except for my Treeman Ancient. That is extremely unfortunate because if he gets first turn, it denies me a channel, but most importantly, it denies me having my leadership 10 on all my guys. So he's just going to try to scream. He's going to scream into me knowing that I won't have leadership 10 across the board. So that's unfortunate, but hey, at least everything else is on the board. As you can see, the Wyvern's in front of my BSB. And I have some Wild Riders on the right, and I got some Archers in that forest, and some didn't really have a whole lot of places to put my Way Watchers, so I just put them. I scouted them right there into that forest, maybe as a backup bunker for the Wizard. Here's a picture of my left flank after Vanguard. I have my Sisters and my Wild Riders kind of over in his flank. I'm hoping to knock out that Black Coach and maybe hopefully distract his Zombie Dragon Lord from my front lines. Alright, he gets first turn, and as you can see, he moves forward aggressively. He just goes ahead and moves everything forward as far as he can. He doesn't really have any charges, but he does get that Terrorgeist right up to my big unit of Wild Riders and just screams off a ton of them. That's very unfortunate, but I knew once once my Treeman General was not deployed on the field that I was going to be hurting for leadership, and he rolled high on his scream, and that did not help. So Wild Riders are down to 3 guys. This is another shot of his turn. As you can see, I've got a lot of attention from his Spirit Host, his Black Coach, and his Hex Wraiths. I think he's going to just leave me alone with the Zombie Lord, but he's definitely going to try to take out these 2 units. So that's good. I've got the Black Coach distracted from the lines at least, and hopefully I can get back and knock out that Corpse Cart, because that Corpse Cart I believe has a Wizard on it, so it's a good bit of points. Okay, here's the left flank after my turn. I really have nowhere to go with the Sisters. I don't think I do the charge, and I want to get some. I'm not really sure what I do here, but I move over and try to get out of his frontal arc. I think I'm out of it. I'm not real sure. If he charges me, I'm just going to flee anyway. I'm hoping to just kind of dance around him and keep that Black Coach distracted until I can charge it with those Wild Riders. Unfortunately, the Wild Riders, I believe, actually fail their frenzy test and fail charge right into a river. So this plan has kind of went badly from the start. So maybe I can recover. On the right side, my weakened unit of Wild Riders just go ahead and charge those Doom Wolves. I kill them all, I believe, and then I'll overrun. I just kind of want to get out of the way because I do not want to take a charge from those Hex Wraiths. Wild Riders are no longer Forest Spirits, weirdly, so they won't have a chance versus those Hex Wraiths. So I would be happy if the Terrorgeist and the Hex Wraith focus on killing off the Wild Riders, but I think my opponent's too smart for that. I think they try to go for the wizard in that forest. Okay, this is his turn too, and he just comes out of nowhere and declares a charge versus my BSB with a zombie dragon. I completely underestimated how far away it was. I did. I forget that thing can fly. It's a dragon. So he declares a charge. It's like a 19-inch charge, but he makes it with room to spare and goes right into my BSB and has an overrun path into my archers. And I am just in serious trouble. But by some miracle, he only puts 1 wound on my BSB, and I actually get 2 wounds on his Vampire Lord. I don't really know how that happened, but you know, Elf characters don't do that badly versus Blender Lord. He doesn't get his rerolls, and we have ward saves and pretty good stats, so I get really lucky here. But in retrospect, the characters to kill Blender Lord in a fair fight are elves. It's weird. Anyway, this is the picture of the final result. I do hold, but I'm in a lot of trouble. Here's a picture after my opponent's turn. I did want to review a little bit. I had moved my Great Eagle up to redirect that horde. I have Curse on it, and I'm trying to bait a charge into the Eagle, and I'll flee, and he'll take a bunch of dangerous terrain tests, but he'll also hit that river and take a bunch more dangerous terrain tests. But he does not make that charge. He decides to hold. Earlier, I had actually charged the building. I think I had some zombies in it or something with the Wyvern. I think I killed them pretty much to the man and crumbled them. And then I, of course, can't take that building. So the Wyvern popped out. I believe you can pop out on any side of the building that you'd like, if I remember correctly. So I popped out kind of in his backfield. And even though I'm not facing the corpse cart, I am making the corpse cart nervous because he really doesn't want any of that Wyvern. To the right, I was wrong. The Hex Wraith decides to gobble up some Wild Riders and gets a bunch of points there. Alright, this is the bottom of his turn. He finally does finish off the Glade Lord. By the end of the combat, I'm not sure if I mentioned this last turn, but I did get 2 wounds on the Vamp Lord, so he's very nervous right now. He reforms, and luckily that little impassable archway really saved me because my wizard is just a couple of inches away, and he could easily fly into my wizard bunker and kill it. But the terrain is kind of blocking his charge, where he doesn't have anywhere to land, so he decides to, I believe, just reform and go for some Way Watchers next turn. So I've lost a lot of points here, but again, I kind of dodged a bullet for stopping him a turn, and for him not redirecting or reforming to charge my wizard next turn, because I really have nowhere to go. His movement's just too fast. Alright, here's a look after my turn. The Wyvern is turned to face the corpse cart. He does not charge the Wyvern. We kind of wondered if that was a smart move or not, but I do get the Terrorgeist off. I just unload all my shootings into it, and Hagbane and True Flight both do a number on Terrorgeist, so I took him down. I also he actually declared a charge during his turn versus my True Flight arrows with Hex Wraiths, and I don't think he knew that True Flight or Wood Elf arrows are magical. And I asked him, he was like, "Are you really sure you want to do that?" He's like, "Yeah, let's go, dude. It's worth it." So he did it, and I just killed them to the man with my stand and shoot that automatically hits on 3s. So that was really fortunate. I get 2. I basically take complete control of the right flank. So this was a good sequence of turns here. Okay, here's his turn. He just charges those Way Watchers. They condense in a way to keep him out of the tree man's flank, and he just kills them. I don't really get. I was hoping maybe to nab a wound on the Vamp Lord, but no, he just kills them to the man. And he reforms, and I think he might be trying to get some of that Spellweaver now. He's looking to make a charge if he can get by a tree man in that archway. That's my Pegasus who panicked or something earlier and who's running away. This is just a cool picture of our generals kind of squaring off, and also you can see the horde had charged my Great Eagle whenever the curse wore off, and I fled and got away, but just barely. So now this is just kind of a cool picture of him getting up in my face, and you know, just kind of me trying to figure out what I'm going to do. Okay, here I kind of make a weird decision. That Vamp Lord's coming up on me. I really don't want him to charge my Tree Man Ancient because it's just going to chop him up. So I kind of try to make a charge, just kind of get out of the way. And I make a questionable decision here. I actually forget that the Skeleton Horde has the Banner of Eternal Flame, and there is a baby vampire in there with a great weapon. So I am just asking for trouble. I charge in, thinking that I don't have many attacks, but I know I'm stubborn on 10, so I can just hold this horde up forever and keep it out of my archers. And then my eagle rallies too. But so I do that, and in my magic phase, I actually get off a purple sun as just kind of a Hail Mary to hit that Vampire Lord. I have nothing to bring that Vampire Lord down. I can just keep dumping shots into it, and hopefully I get lucky. But we throw Purple Sun up, and then we had a ruling question because the Vampire Lord has like initiative like 7 or 8, so that's fine. But the Zombie Dragon only has like a 2. And now does the monster use his initiative or his rider's initiative? Because I know that they're treated like 2 separate models, while cavalry get to use the riders. So we kind of had a ruling question, and I think maybe later I figured out that I think the Zombie Dragon was supposed to use the Vampire Lord's initiative. However, for this game, we actually played that the dragon actually used his own initiative, and so I Purple Sunned his dragon off and left his Vampire Lords on foot, stranded in front of like all of my archers. As you see, those Way Watchers are in that building over there. So I just dump all my shots into the Vampire Lord, who has 1 wound left, and I kill him. So this game has went way, way, way in my favor after this turn. Furthermore, I charged the Black Coach in the top of the screen with the sisters that were playing cat and mouse with him. I do take a bunch of wounds. I think I take like 2 or 3 wounds on the Tree Man Ancient. Heal 1 up, but hold. Here's just a picture of the Wyvern getting into the corpse cart. I believe the corpse cart may survive the first turn just barely, but the Wyvern ends up gobbling him up by the end of the next turn. So that's a quick fight. Here's this grind fest that I really, really don't like. The zombies that were kind of cruising around on the right flank, not doing much, get into my Tree Man's flank, which really isn't that big of a deal. But now his skeletons have got me down to 2 wounds. I actually end up killing his Vamp Lord in a straight up, not Vamp Lord, but Baby Vamp in a straight up challenge just through sheer thunder stomps. So that's great. But now I have all of these skeleton attacks coming at me with flaming. Yeah, they're having a hard time hitting me and wounding me, but every time they sneak one through, it's doubling. So I'm down to 2 wounds here, and I just got some zombies in my flank to aggravate me even more. So I'm getting kind of nervous here, but hopefully I can hold out and keep that last wound off. Okay, here's some reinforcements come in to help support the Tree Man. The Great Eagle and the Pegasus charge in, and just helping them to, I guess, get some wounds to help crumble that horde faster. I do get a Lore of Life spell off, like some random, and heal them up a wound, so that's huge. And I continue to not take wounds, so that's great. I'm learning that the Tree Man monsters are really great versus chaff units, so I'll have to remember that in the future. Here's just a picture of the grind war between the sisters and the Black Coach. I am not winning it. I'm having a hard time getting through his armor save and word save, and he's just grinding me down 1 sister at a time. And he eventually kills me to the man. But fortunately, and you can see just barely at the bottom left-hand corner of the screen, my Glade Riders decide to show up. This is, I think, the bottom of turn 4. So that's great. I really could have used them earlier to help flank charge that guy, but whatever. They show up. I hop them into a forest and just try to kind of tempt that charge into that forest down there. Here's just a picture of the Grind War. This and the Black Coach is really his only units left, and he is not getting wounds through, and I have my Wyvern perched for a charge next turn. He is about to get my Eagle down finally, and my Pegasus finishes off those zombies and is about to hop in and help. Alright, here the Wyvern gets in, and the Great Eagle dies, but between the Tree Man and the Wyvern, we end up killing the entire skeleton unit to the man. Furthermore, when the Black Coach charges the Glade Riders. They shoot with some poison arrows and get his last wound off. So at this point, every model on the board, I believe this is the bottom of turn 5, I think, every vampire model is dead, so it is a complete table. Alright, so the final score was about 2,600 points to 1,000. Wood Elves win. Some final thoughts. Blunderlords, they're still great. I mean, I'm not going to knock them, but they lose some punch versus ASF. They really need those rerolls to get up and running. And if they don't have those rerolls and they get up against somebody with a decent ward save, they can really fluff and get held up. And anytime a Blunderlord's held up, then your opponent's winning. Treemen, hey, they're not that great. I just I like to take them because I really like the new models, but they're actually pretty good versus non-elite blocks. I went versus a Flaming Banner unit of skeletons, and I just grinded them down. The Thunder Stomp really works, and the 3 attacks stink, but I'm leadership 10 stubborn, so I'm just gonna hold them down. And even in a challenge, I can Thunder Stomp them to death. So he really worked well, and I think he had some help late game from a Wyvern, but I mean, he probably would have held that horde up for the rest of the game as long as I kept making that 3-up armor save and healing with the sisters. Finally, Hex Wraiths are easy pickings. They are just really bad matchup for Wood Elves, and I'm going to get those points unless he hides them behind a rock somewhere. And even if he hides them behind a rock, the True Flight will probably end up getting them anyway. So anyway, my opponent had some bad luck, but was a good sport, and thanks for watching.